Do, 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 do. There it is. Good morning, everybody. I don't know where Ham is. I think he's at therapy. It's got to be too cold to play pickleball, but I don't know. And I just want to, things are quiet for me this morning, so I want to start early. That can change at any time for me. So I might get busy this afternoon, particularly with my dog. So I'm starting a little early. Ham, of course, will talk about Finger. We can talk about FingerMotion too, but I notice this morning that my prediction has not come to fruition that Railtown would break out. We're in the last. The Nationals just got a new first baseman, so I'm wearing the hat. Plus, my hair looks terrible. Railtown AI Technologies. We're running out of time. We've got this week, and I guess a day and a half of next week. Is today a full day or a half a day? A day's a day. I used to have a client named Nasser Dayzadeh. He was great, Nasser Dayzadeh. Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to stick to my guns. I think Railtown is a great buy under 40 cents. And if it takes a little longer, it takes a little longer. I mean, reading charts is not an exact science. And of course, we're in the holiday period now. So maybe it's January. I don't know. And maybe it's the first couple of weeks. But I want to just go through why I like it. I'll try to just do it in 5 or 10 minutes. Railtown, world-class, rapidly growing AI tech innovator. This is their website, railtowntechnologies.com. They have a partnership with Myla. My love does it good. Whoa, 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 whoa. AMII, Microsoft co-sell ready, Microsoft Founders Hub, NVIDIA, UBC, AMD Partners, something or other, and AI Partnership Corporation. Here's their corporate presentation, and I can tell by your eyes that you've been crying forever. And the stars in the sky, to you, they're nothing but a mirror. All right, here's Railtown. Let me make sure you see it. You do see it. So let's just go through Railtown and then I'll go to questions. So here's their most recent corporate presentation from their website. Microsoft partner, co-sell ready partner, Microsoft Founders Hub, and NVIDIA. We create AI that accelerates software development. Here's the disclaimer, read it quickly. So I skipped over this last time. Investment highlights. There's growing global markets. So the development tools market is growing. The AI as a service market is growing down here. The total cost of poor software just in these United States is $2 trillion. So the idea is to go in and update your software, I guess. It's commercialized IP, first mover advantage, which is important. They have 2 provisional patents with more expected. High margin. I just heard a noise on my computer. So Rail is down a penny on 16,000 shares. They have proven tech founders. Between those technology company founders, they've started 6 companies, and they've had 4 merger and acquisition exits of 200 million. They've built tech for and collaborated with world-class companies. You see that? Built tech for? Let's just focus on that. Built tech for Microsoft, Starbucks, Remax, Keller Williams. They have capital markets expertise. So what does Railtown's platform do? You can tell mostly that bankers didn't study English. I read a letter my dad wrote 20 years ago. My dad always wrote very well. I wish I could have. I don't write well. Anyway, the platform drives down inefficiency, improves product quality, lowers costs, and accelerates team velocity. I've never been on a team where I wasn't focused on velocity. Railtown has developed an application general intelligence trademark platform, application general intelligence trademark platform, which continually trains itself on connected applications, enables developers to extract significantly deeper knowledge about connected applications and their development teams, provides actionable knowledge for all stakeholders, from developers to the brainiacs up in the executive suite. Increases engineering performance by performing traditionally manual tasks. Enables users to create new platform features and software solutions. The company's name, Railtown AI Technologies, founded 5 years ago, headquarters in British Columbia. Canadian listing is Rail, R-A-I-L. They've raised about 5 million US to date. They're growing at 178% month over month in user signups. They have a fully commercialized product, and they're the first mover. And they're, if you couldn't tell, they're rapidly scaling. The the artificial intelligence model, Railtown has developed a custom-trained AI model which understands all aspects of software development. So this model, this AI, is it software? This AI mode understands all aspects of software development. The platform can be deployed on cloud or on premise. It has fast or rapid model inference for real-time decision making. And I assume if you do it on cloud, if it's like other companies I've worked with, you know, the CEO could be in a coffee shop in Vancouver, and the company could be in New York, and the company's CEO could be working out of South Carolina, and she could be making her decisions immediately. The platform ingests user data sets, so it devours user data sets that are used to continually, this data is used to continually improve model performance. The platform can incorporate multimodal data, including imagery, custom reporting, and always used in this term, templating. So domain-focused artificial intelligence versus their artificial general intelligence trademark. I guess maybe they're talking more generally here. So artificial general intelligence is still years away with many challenges. All right, I misinterpreted it. So this artificial general intelligence to mimic the human brain is years away. Commercial opportunities lie in more narrowly focused domain areas with current and near-term technology over here. Opportunity to exist to disrupt entire industries. So this new AI can disrupt entire industries. For example, transportation, media, software development, healthcare, finance. See, I don't understand this gibberish. Look at software development today compared with autonomous driving today. Oh, I see. They're comparing it to how we all drive. We just drive. Now, then there's driver assistance, partial automation, conditional if you're not in a storm, high automation, full automation. All right, got it. I wouldn't trust full automation right now. Current software development tools provide raw event information to the user to act on. These are things that I don't understand. Event logs, ticket data, build information, team velocity. It's similar to a car dashboard. All right. I hope all that sunk in. So Railtown software development for tomorrow, they do focus on domain-focused AI. And they're right here, I guess, in the partial automation and conditional automation, where the vehicle controls most of the driving. So Railtown's our application general intelligence phase 1 is currently at the state where they ingest all forms of development and application data, tickets to build, deployments to logs, development of an AGI model that understands all aspects of software development. It is always available to assist users, this model, by answering questions related to their project, or to automate simple tasks like progress reports, or to release notes, etc. And this app can understand and make sense of events like bug discovery, root cause analysis. This is way over my head, or under it. Railtown software development for the future, they want to get to full automation. Let's just skip over that because I'll just mumble all the words anyway. So this is a growing market. It's grown from 4 billion in 2021 in the global developer tools market. I don't know what it is today, but it's anticipated to be a $20 billion market in the 30s. Global AI as a service market started 23 at 7 billion, but it's expected to grow in this decade to over 100 billion. Microsoft has over 1 million paying GitHub Copilot users. GitHub Copilot users. I don't know what GitHub is. I assume it's competition that's not as good. The increase in developer productivity attributable to AI could boost global GDP by over 1.5 trillion, according to GitHub. Rail has unique intellectual property. It's unique. They wrote the white paper in 2019. They started writing platform code in 2019. They created the framework in-house. The artificial intelligence engine trained on internal data. And 85% of the capital raised to date has been spent on this technology. They have filed patents in North America. Both are in North America. They're provisional, and they were achieved last year. They expect to have another patent filed this coming year. The business model, they have multiple revenue channels. They can act as a reseller, or it is resellers. I'm sorry, I've never seen this presentation given, so my interpretation betrays my lack of familiarity with all this techie stuff. But one of the reasons I like Railtown is people's minds are already tuned in to artificial intelligence and all these buzzwords. So it's not a hard sell. Might be hard for me to read it, but it's not a hard sell to venture capitalists, investment banks, and companies. So anyway, their target user are organizations managed by themselves. They can brand their own company using Railtown's functionality under their white label. It's exclusive. The reseller typically cannot sell competing services to other clients. And then Railtown can sign on with other resellers. This model is monthly licensing with support and a seat fee per month per project. They can co-sell under the Microsoft label. And so this delivers Railtown's functionality under their own brand as white labeled service or under Railtown's brand. Monthly fee per seat per project. Microsoft takes 5%. That's kind of modest for Microsoft's name. Or they can do direct sales. So it's managed by Railtown. It's delivered on the Railtown brand, month-to-month subscription, and etc. Here's a reseller case study, Quisitive Technology Solutions. I guess I didn't look it up, but you could look up Quisitive. It's managed by Quisitive. The branding delivers Railtown's functionality under the hood, but it's their own white label. So I hate this word, but Quisitive can onboard clients without assistance. It's exclusive for Quisitive clients only. And you can see over here how happy Quisitive is with this product. If I ever name a company Quisitive, could you put me in the ground? Artificial general intelligence versus application general intelligence. See, this is something I was losing my clarity on early in the presentation. Artificial general intelligence is a computer system which rivals or exceeds humanity's ability to perform any intellectual task as long as the human being thinks like a Democrat. Timeline. Because really all they do is do things quickly. Consciousness is not something that a computer is probably ever going to be able to achieve as much as science fiction talks about it. So it's just the need for speed. Timeline. Forecasts range from years to decades to never. So this has never really happened. I wonder if it ever will. Bill Gates, we are only at the beginning of what I can do to accomplish the takeover of the entire world, particularly as it relates to health. Oh no, that's not what he wrote. We are only at the beginning of what AI can accomplish. Whatever limitations it has today will be gone before we know it. Bill Gates. Elon Musk, we will have something that is, for the first time, smarter than the smartest human being. Measured in a very narrow way, with the potential to become the most disruptive force in history. I would agree. It's a tool. I think it'll still be a tool. Okay, so let's go to what we have today. Application General Intelligence, trademarked by Railtown. This is a platform which, or should I say who, provides a deep knowledge of understanding about every aspect of a software application and the team who is developing it. Timeline. Finished. It's fully realized as of December 6th, 2023. Railtown AI technology confirms proprietary AI engine has achieved next level milestone of producing application general intelligence. How it works. Should I try? Should I attempt to read this? The client's application securely sends development data to Railtown platform. That's the gray. Railtown is in the chartreuse, the purple. Railtown platform trains on data set and ongoing client feedback to develop the application general intelligence trademark and to enable delivery of functionalities and to enable to deliver usable functions. So the application general intelligence goes through all of this. The tickets come in, bills come in, logs come in, whatever wiki comes in, comments come in, and it comes down, it informs teams, performs tasks, creates solutions. It then has its own application set up. It performs tasks, so everybody is happy. So the third-party developers and users ask Railtown's platform to perform tasks and to create new features and technology solutions without the need to write any code. They don't have to write code. So how it works, the teams, they do root cause analysis. They detect, the application detects errors at the earliest stage and then sends meaningful description alerts to the development team. So what does this mean? Errors are caught and resolved better and faster. Errors are prioritized by importance and timeliness. The team is then able to address issues before the issues affect users or before the issue can cause a catastrophic problem. Saves 8 hours per week per developer. Drives down technical debt and saves money. And then so that's one of their applications. Their product is called Conductor AI Assistant. It answers developers' questions about the application, its development, errors, etc. And what good is it? It's fast, it's accurate, and it provides access to needed information. It gives natural language, reason-based answers. So a guy like me could understand it. It gives relevant and actionable information, which enables quick problem solving and solutions. The engine itself is AI, and it learns from developer feedback, which improves everything. The velocity dashboard does metrics on speed and efficiency. I'm going to skip that. They have release notes automator. It replaces the need for developers to do repetitive manual work. The ticket generator, it performs tickets, progress reports. The artificial intelligence engine collects and organizes latest data. How it works. It creates solutions. It creates new platform features and software solutions based on users' natural language. Users do not need to know how to code. It boosts productivity by freeing up potential development time. Users contribute. Clients remain loyal. Railtown becomes a developer platform, which turns it into a unicorn. Okay, here's the competition. Trello launched 2011, raised 10 million. They have a power-up platform. And Atlassian acquires Trello for $500 million almost. Slack launches in 2014, ramps up, and Salesforce acquires Slack in 2021 for almost $30 billion. So here's the advantages according to Railtown. Single source of truth. I want to find that a single source of truth. They have it, Railtown. Team velocity, whatever the hell that means. Railtown has it. So does GitLab and Jira software. But the rest of them, they don't have it. Developer velocity. Wow. So the team and the developer can velo. Railtown has it. GitLab has it. Jira has it. Conductor, the assistant, only Railtown has it. Release notes automator, only Railtown has it. Ticket generator, only Railtown has it. Progress reports, Railtown has it with GitLab, which I think is that one that we saw with Microsoft, and then Jira software. I don't know if GitLab is in Microsoft, but anyway. No code, virtual developer, so you don't need to know code. Railtown has that. Root cause analyzer, Railtown has that. So does Splunk. Splunk pops up. Categorize errors. Splunk is in. Group errors, only Railtown. Intelligent alerting, Splunk and New Relic. Catch errors early, Railtown does, but so does Jenkins and Splunk and New Relic and SonarQube. SonarQube only seems to have one thing going for it. It catches errors early. All right, so their timeline. Let's not go over 2023. You can find that. Let's not go over 2024. You can go over that. All right, let's see. They want to fully commercialize latest features. No code functionality. Marketing campaigns. All right, well, you can read all that later. All right, Marwan Haddad, co-founder, 25 years of software development, 10 years leading and building engineering product teams, launched platforms for Fortune 500s, including Microsoft and Starbucks. Co-founder, Corey Brandolini. That sounds like a Steve Martin magician character on Johnny Carson. Um, 30 years experience in investment banking. Helped raised a lot of money. Former partner of Telio, which was acquired by Microsoft. Dr. Elliot Holtum, co-founder of a couple of companies, and he's prestigious. Kevin O'Neill, co-founder, advisory chair. He was an investment banker at Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner, Smith, and Bean, and a CEO. Andy Moak has expertise. Matthew Bolton developed software for Microsoft, Pfizer, P&G, RE Max, Electric Arts, Samsung, Home Depot, the Worldwide, I guess that's the wrestling, Air Canada, all looks good. Yemi Bueza, 19 years, former senior software engineer. Chris Gerard, front-end engineer. Rebecca Kurzweil, she's great in investor relations. Paul Woodward, CFO at Hayward Securities, president of a venture capital co. Dr. Eldad Haber, British Columbia, co-founded Extract AI, which was acquired by Patriot One. He's written a lot of software. Ali Sinawi, capital markets in Vancouver. Rob Goring, he's a serial entrepreneur, founded a cybersecurity company. Ana Maria Perante, human resources. And there you go. There you go. So let's stop talking about that. I look a fright. I look a fright. All right, so you guys are talking about other things. Good people. Good people. So short sucks likes AVXL. AVXL. AVXL, still my best position. Waiting on Finger, GDC, ZJYL, Wolf. Wolf's up very nicely. I don't remember the last price, but it's up. If you keep buying William picks, you'll get so tired of whining or winning. I'm not, you don't have to buy any of my picks on site. You don't have to buy any of them. Just trying to give you foundation of why I like Railtown. It's down, but I notice everyone sees down as a chance to say negative things and not do anything. I see down, if you like the story, as a chance to buy more if you have money, which I don't, but I think other people might. Anyway, look at rum. Poor guy. He keeps falling down. Buy more. Look at rum. GDC, ZG, well, finger pop next week. I think my reaction, look at, oh my God, I'm glad I don't have to look at myself. My reaction to finger in terms of popping, let's see how it's doing. You've got Chinese New Year's coming at the end of the January. And I did some business with some excellent Chinese gentlemen. To my memory, that takes like a month off beforehand. I could be wrong. It might have just been an excuse why the money wasn't coming. The stock finger is trading at 114.66. It's up today. The day's range, that's the low. The high has been 125, and that's pretty good. But I don't expect finger to pop in the sense of massive moves like you're looking for. But what if finger got to 150 or $2? That's pretty good from these levels. ZJYL and GDC. Let's just look. Why don't we just look at charts on those? See if anything is happening. All right, let me refresh this. See, this is a painful chart. Let me annotate. Annotate. but it's not hopeless. It's painful, but it's not hopeless. Obviously, there's a gap right here, massive gap, and I'm not saying it's funny. I'm laughing at the fact that I would even point that out to you. That's one way of seeing this line. I would tighten it a little bit, maybe, and come up to here, and then come up here all the way. Does it go all the way back here? Does it go back to here? I don't know. It might just come back up in here. Not really. That's a bit of a wide line. Might be better to draw one lower here. But anyway, what I see for Finger, Keith, is this is really painful. And to recover, you could go sideways for a while, or you could take a lot of time to get back up here, or you just have established a new position to be in. That would be depressing. What I think is more likely is Roth is going to get this deal up to 150, 160. And unfortunately, I do think it's going to take a little time and news, if there is news, and maybe after the Chinese New Year. But I think the stock can get back up into this trading up here. You know, another way to look at it would be to go I don't know, some sideways type thing like this, and then up here coming back from this close, going straight through. So my point is, Keith, I think Finger can get back up in here, but we have to wait and see if it does it. But this is a massive heart attack. And when it gets up out of the hospital bed, pulls off the machines, and leaves the hospital, it's got to get through all of this. So when you say pop, I'm not sure about that. What I think is you could get a double, which is a great play. By the way, I'm not trying to be negative that more could happen down the road. I'm not saying that. I just think in the short run, it's frustrating. That's all I'm going to say. Now, there could be good news. Sentiment could change on a dime. I could be totally wrong. Let's look at GDC. I like this. I think that was still Keith's question. And I remind you, I'm not as sophisticated a technician as most people out there. But I like what I see here on GDC. I certainly wouldn't want to short that. Certainly wouldn't want to short that. Look at this. Just last time I suggested GDC, and I don't take credit for this. It's just the pattern. That was an extreme pattern. But you have one here too. So, you know, maybe GDC needs to get through the new year. But I like that pattern in the stock. I think that's very bullish on GDC. That's a complete technical read. I have no idea what's going on with fundamentals at the company. All right, and what was the other one you said? Oh, ZJYO. That's an interesting, that's very interesting to me. I don't know, I'm having a hard time making this fit. But what I see here in ZJYL is a similar bullish pattern. It's not quite as precise, but I see that there. And then I think the stock has broken out of this pattern sideways. This is ZJYL. And what I see here is a little bit of a pennant forming. And then what gets interesting is if it breaks 92 cents, obviously it goes to 145, but $2 is the first resistance, 273 obvious target. But then we start talking again about these tops. I don't know if you count this one. And that could get really exciting if it broke through 4 for a 4th time, unless you count it over here. That could get really exciting and go to all-time highs. So I think, Keith, out of your 3 stocks, I think 2 of them look kind of pounceable. Let's just see what NIXX is doing. Man, it's so strong. NIXX, very strong stock chart. What I see here is a shoulder. Here is a head. Don't call me a head. And here is a shoulder. So it's a head and shoulders pattern. And unfortunately for those of you who are waiting to buy this stock, I have to say this is a head and shoulder pattern, which is going up. It's going up. This is a shoulder. This is the head. And then this shoulder is going up. So it's very bullish to me. In other words, I don't think Nixy is going to pull back very much. I could be wrong, but I don't see Nixy pulling back. And I was correct in my caution. There was a couple of sharp sell-offs so far, and the idea that it would go a bit sideways. I was correct about that. But I think I might be proven wrong that there's a meaningful pullback in the stock. I think Nixy, sexy Nixy, has given you its pullback. And we'll see what happens in January. And then what's the other one? Let's see if, I don't think this one comes up. Or the chart's been ruined. Yeah, the chart's ruined by this one print down here. So the chart's all scrunched up. It's really useless. So anyway. Hey, Romero, what do you say here? Please ignore negatives. All right, I won't anymore. Romero, I gave everyone some slack on Friday and Saturday because I think that was a real shock. But I agree with you. I'm not going to do that again. It's just too much, and it's just inanity. And I want to hear positives. Is it safe? Kudo. No, this is Cliff. Is it safe to assume the short attack on Finger was in fear of the dividend causing a squeeze zone? That could be, but I don't think so. I think what was happening on Friday was the company and whoever made that announcement, there was a lot of day trading on Friday. So there was a lot of fear mongering, and people with no capital were probably selling 20, 30, 50, 100,000 shares at whatever it opened, 216. They needed it to come down to cover, and they were working with each other. And so I think it was day trading, in addition to the institutions at Roth. I know Roth is a good firm, and I know the brokers at Roth think they're doing a good job. They have real clients. Those aren't real clients. Those are people that have big pools of money who help the shorts. This is all an organized scam. I believe I know where all these people meet. If I said it, it would come across as anti-Semitic or anti-Israel. But I think a lot of these people meet on Saturday. And, there's no microphones there. There's no federal investigators there. And so I think a lot of these, I don't think they drink. I don't think they meet at Harry's bar. I think they meet quietly and they organize every phase of this. And it's possible that there's some honest actors there who don't want to get involved, but they're not going to rat on their brethren, I don't think. So anyway, I think it's a tough game to fight. And I'm not trying to say anything, I don't know what word to use, in a broad brush, ignorant way. It's just what you see. The hedge funds, the prime brokers, the bankers, even the regulator, the short selling firms, they all know each other pretty well, and they trust each other. And I think they realize it's kind of like at a frat party, and these are not parties I attended, but if you have some hot chicks and they come in and there's one guy and everyone's drinking beer and you're underage and they bring in some liquor, I just met her, or they bring some cocaine, which is illegal. Everyone in the fraternity, there's going to be guys saying, no, I don't want to do it. Nah, I'm going to leave. But there's not going to be any member of that fraternity who's going to turn in one of their brothers. It's just how human beings are. It's not specific to any one characteristic. It's that when you get a group of human beings who identify with each other, what's the word? They have one identity that locks them together that is either above or separate or unique to the general hoi polloi. Those members are not going to sell each other out. I mean, it happened with the, in the movies anyway, with the Italian families. And then that guy, Valachi Papers, he was the first one to break the code of Armada, this thing of ours. Where else does it happen? I think it's a male thing more than a female thing. And I would imagine with Puff Diddy, the guys around him kept everything quiet. Anyway, I'm not a sociologist, but what I'm saying, Cliff, is I think the selling on Friday was organized. There was collusion. There was manipulation. The real short seller was helping the fake short seller, but it's all digital. So how do you tell? And they brought the whole complex down from $2.25. They brought the whole complex down $1. So everybody that was exposed or had undelivered positions suddenly made $1. And then they drove it even further. So there were some losses. But remember, I believe they're all colluding or looking the other way. Look, I'm not a woman, but it's what I've experienced in many fraternities of men, and it can be any characteristic. I just think in this case there's a certain characteristic that supersedes what you're talking about. I think it's under control. I think Finger right now is under control. I don't think the dividend. I personally think the dividend is look, Cliff, from what we heard on Friday, the audit's not finished. Well, it's Christmas, it's Hanukkah, it's Kwanzaa, and then it's New Year's, and then it's Chinese New Year's. I don't know. I have a feeling. And then the Gary Gensler, the goober, is going to resign unless they come up with some gimmickry to get Kamala Harris in. And then Trump's going to appoint somebody, and that's going to take a while to vote on. I'm personally, I'm not optimistic for that dividend to happen soon or to cause a short squeeze. But I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to tell you what I see happened on Friday to me. That was a coordinated, illegal attack by a group of guys that know each other or cover for each other. Finger, 4 million shares traded Friday in 2 hours. Major short attack on it. Yeah, okay, now Cliff and Kuda, I'll agree with you. They may be scared of something. They may be scared of something. That's absolutely right. They're giving it their full fusillade. They are doing that. So you have to ask why. But one thing, Kuda, they're not going to break up the deal. The deal, apparently, according to what we heard, I'm not saying anything that I didn't hear on the calls here. According to what we heard, the deal's locked in stone. But Kuda, one of the things they may be doing is trying to break the deal. So it's repriced. They're selling things in LLCs and they can walk away or they can hide it. So why not try to do that? I don't think that's going to happen. So that's good for the good guys. That's good for us. They may be trying to drive it down so when they give their year-end report to their clients, who are the people giving them the wherewithal, the money, the legal protection, like Don Corleone's judges in his pocket. These are the big hedge fund players are giving these shorts their judges, their regulators, their lawyers, their documents, their protection. And maybe before they have their meeting at year end, they want to get these prices to print lower. That might be one thing, because they don't want to lose the protection. They don't want to lose their real backers. The other thing I would think could a guy is a lot of real, as we call it, real shorts, reported shorts, and others, and then just people that hang on. These cowards that come on here that just come in for the hit and run. They may be underwater and they're trying to get one more sell-off to move stock around. And those underfunded cowards are going to have to close. They don't have the money to hold it off. Now the questions, Kuda, is Roth Capital going to make a news announcement? Is Finger going to make a news announcement? Will Finger then make an announcement about a revenue deal or a use of proceeds? These are open questions. But then we get, you know, the money gets received. How quickly can FingerMotion implement that capital? China, to my best of my experience, and I could be wrong, will go on a month-long holiday with firecrackers at the crescendo. So, all right, hang on. I got 8 messages from somebody I care about. Okay. Okay, I think I answered everything. I think I answered everything. All right. But so anyway, they could be scared of what's coming, but I really think we have 6 weeks maybe to wait. So they may have the full field to themselves. But all right, here's what could come. Here's what could come. That on our side, maybe Trump and the new SEC person makes a clear declaration that there's a new sheriff in town. That would be something. Maybe Roth Capital comes out with a research piece that gives a much higher target. Maybe Roth Capital has real institutional buying, not just fronts for short sellers. Maybe big contracts are coming. And maybe the stock does go, you saw in that chart, maybe it breaks that back up into there very quickly. One thing that could happen, if the stock price gets back up into that level, you can treat everything that happened the last 2 or 3 days as an aberration, and you can ignore it from a technical standpoint, I think. I mean, ask Avid or ask Arca what they would say. Or do they think they're going to win? They may think they're going to win. They may think, because remember MULN or MMAT or Root. All these companies have good management, good products, but the shorts know the regulators aren't going to turn them in. The brokers aren't going to turn them in. The short seller's not going to tell them. Nobody's going to turn each other in. It's all a big fraternity. So if they can get the price down, the next time the company needs to raise money, it's at a discount to that lower price. and there's more shares outstanding. I think in this case, Kuda, they've run into a buzzsaw in the determination of Ham. And I also think FingerMotion will not take toxic convertible, toxic formula, toxic tranche type deals that MULN did and MMAT did. I think they're very receptive to the warnings based on their experience with Jeff Easton. All right. Is this after hours tonight or tomorrow? I do not have anything scheduled with Martin, Tom. I think I can disclose this. I did it yesterday, so if I'm just doing what I said. What was sent to me in writing, quote, from FingerMotion, quote, no interviews or any disclosure is allowed at this time. Anything along those lines needs to be approved by Roth Capital and its counsel first. And Roth will not allow anything until after they close this deal. And even after that, Roth Capital requires the company to ask Roth Capital first. What I don't know is how long that lasts. It might be a period where Roth Capital is trying to maintain the market, and that would be a good sign to me that they're going to try to get the they're going to try to get this stock back to $1.50, $1.60. Roth, I mean, after the deal's announced, funded. And that would be great. We would see how good Roth Capital is. If Roth Capital wants to be a legitimate investment bank or just a pass-through for criminal activity, whether they know about it or not doesn't matter. They should strive to be an Alex Brown or a Tucker Anthony or Johnston Lemon, or bigger, be a A.G. Edwards type company, although they didn't ever do much banking. In my opinion, you got through to William. Thank you. Yeah, he did get through. I'm not going to take any negatives. Well, I will from you. The judgment comes in. Anyway, if it's you, you can say whatever you think, and I'll honor it and respond. But I'm going to not take paid for shills anymore. Bill Michael, Finger, why not go to the current stock? I agree with you. And I'm going to ask that, Bill. Because I will talk to Martin. Look, what's done is done. And maybe what's good is we'll get a research report. But let's say in 6 months, heck, let's say in 3 months, there's some big contract that needs to be funded. Why not come to us? I'll get out here and talk to everybody. I'll call people I know. We could raise the money as plain vanilla. And maybe, Bill, to take it a step further, maybe people here could be incentivized to pay fair market price with some warrants. I like that. Yeah, why release it on Friday? Yes, you saw my reaction to Roth on Friday, but I think there's another possible interpretation, which we can only find out in retrospect. But we know from press releases and from the interview that FingerMotion has this big contract in the sense that it was stated that it's exclusive and that it's countrywide. Vanessa countrywide. No, it's China. It's countrywide China. But it goes state by state, town by town, and all that. So they've proven themselves. But we also know by the video, he stated that he needed money, and to me, that implied that it was for these contracts. Bill, my opinion, with the traditional New Year, January 1, the Chinese New Year, I think January 29th, it's opinion only, but I bet the government of China goes on a, only those who need to work need to be here. I forget the terminology for that. Essential employees only. And I just think there could be a lot of holiday ahead of us. Weeks, 4 to 5 weeks of holiday in China. So let me give you a different scenario. Maybe the first 2 vehicles got done, and some amount of vehicles we don't know about yet have gotten done. Maybe they came with a new mandate, the government, and they said, well, now we need you to do, I'm going to make it up because I am making this up. I'm trying to come up with a different scenario. Now we need you to supply 25 vehicles to the township of Mao Zedong villas. Finger's going to need capital to build that all out. And if China is on the verge of shutting down for vacations, how are they going to have that capital unless they raise it? And then there's the problem here of our vacations. So I think another thing that to read it is Univest finally let go of the company recently, and it was announced last Monday. Roth obviously performed. Whether it's good or bad, we'll find out. But they did perform. Univest looks like they sat on their ass for a year and a half. So Roth performed. The company needs capital to build out its franchise. That might be what happened. We'll find out. I think, Bill, one thing's going to matter to me is to find out how effectively Roth Capital supports the $1.50 price. If Roth Capital intends to be a real investment bank, they should get this stock back to 150, 160 in the aftermarket. And if they don't, that's not a very good investment bank. That means they mispriced the deal. But I think that's what we can hope for, is this gets back 150, 160 range. I might be dreaming, but that's what I think we can hope for. Okay, they colluded. We lose on another stock. Well, Dennis, we are certainly losing right now. I don't think the fight is over. I think one of the advantages with Finger, but Dennis, let me be clear. It's now a race. It is now a race of the short sellers tactics on the one hand and FingerMotion proving its model, proving its revenue, growing. And imagine if Finger didn't take this deal and we're in I don't know, March, and you all are asking, well, why the hell is why are the revenues so crappy? Well, we had a chance to do the deal, but we didn't like the $1.50. I mean, it's an art, not a science. But Dennis, one thing that I really picked up in the interview, which is out there, and I believe, is that FingerMotion is going to turn earnings positive in the fourth quarter, their fourth quarter. Now, it may not, but it seems like there's momentum for FingerMotion in their fourth quarter to turn earnings positive. I think it's highly unlikely that the third quarter is going to turn positive, which will be announced mid-January. But that means the entire year probably is just, so-so. But if you come into the fourth quarter and you announce our contracts are such and such, our opportunities here could be such and such, our earnings are actually earnings positive, and we expect them to grow, and you have Roth Capital report, that fourth quarter earnings number could be all the catalyst you need to get the stock in the $2, $2.50, $3 range, and maybe better. I need to find out more. I hope they can't be spent out of these contracts. In other words, I hope there's not a competitor, but I also hope that the governments don't come and say, build out 500 vehicles all at once. I hope it can be a period of growth, because then you can get algorithmic growth. In other words, let's say they build out, I don't know. Let's say they build out 100 vehicles. I'm making it up with this money. And they take the profit, and let's say it's I don't know, a 25% profit. I don't know the numbers at all. But let's say then they have that much money to roll and do it again in a few months. So they, instead of building out 100 vehicles, they build out 125, essentially with this same capital. And let's say they do that again, and then it's 160 vehicles, and then it's 210 vehicles, and then it rolls to 400 vehicles, and then it's proven, and so they can borrow money, or the government gives them a grant, and then they can build 1,000 vehicles out at a roll. I don't know, I'm making all of that up, but that's the kind of growth trajectory you need them to see. And if that happens, they'll run ahead of any of the trickery of the shorts. And Martin is not going to be blind to the criminality out there. And we'll find out. I think, Dennis, it all comes down to the integrity of Roth Capital. And call me skeptical, because I think Roth Capital has provided shelter for the shorts in the past. And I think some of Roth Capital's so-called institutional clients are just hedge funds giving the company their own money back at a discount that works to the favor of Stevie Cohen and Ken Griffin and Lloyd Blankenfield at Goldman Sachs, or whoever's running that company now. But if Roth is a sincere investment bank and wants to build a franchise, we should know about that pretty soon. They should get this stock back to 150. But it might be tough in the holidays. Might be tough. We'll see. Okay, I'm not going to answer that. You're clearly a shill. In fact, I'm going to block you. I'm not going to tolerate it. And Michael Granite, they need money to build out their contracts. Something just, let's see if this is him. No, it's not. It's not. Yeah, they need money to build out their contracts. So, as somebody I was talking to this morning pointed out, it's a different game when you're building out, in the virtual, that jerk that always comes out, let's talk about costs of goods sold. Well, now you do have costs of goods sold. Before, it was ether, growing contracts on the ether. Now there is a cost of goods sold, and you need to prove it. You need that capital. My guess is, Michael, after one or two more rolls, that's my word, of getting the order, building it out, giving it to the government, getting the money, new order, building it out, a couple of those. I think financing could come from government agencies or wealthy investors, and could completely skip Adina Friedman's markets and Gary Gensler's markets, which are entirely set up to defraud American investors. There's no ifs, ands, and about it. Adina Friedman is there, Gary Gensler is there to help Stevie Colin steal money from you. That's my opinion. The market is so crooked. This is invest in yourself, start a company, make a product. That's right. Bill, it's interesting. I don't know what your company is, but I was listening over the weekend to a guy that was very credible. I forgot his name right now. And a lot of private companies have enormous valuations currently. And it's all because there's a bubble in private equity. So this gentleman's point was, if you're thinking about it, selling your private company, hit the bid, sell, because he thinks the bubble's going to pop. And when it does, a lot of the private companies bought by these brainiacs at hedge funds and private equity firms, they go to school, they come to you, and they tell you how smart they are. They're just following the crowd. And when they start selling, there could be a sell-off in the valuation of private companies. But anyway, that's a side thought. I totally agree with Bill. We have to become our own central bankers. But that means getting your financial house in order. It means taking assets out of the banking system, like gold, silver, platinum, palladium. But it also means investing in what you know how to do. Whatever you know how to do. I mean, if you're a seamstress, there may come in, I'm telling you, everyone, and I cannot mince my words. I only experienced it in my younger days. And luckily not for long, but we didn't know it would end. We didn't know it would end. But it's going to be stagflation, and it's going to be a nightmare. I think the United States is and has been in a depression. I don't think the financial markets recognize it. So the top 1%, I used to own a house. It was, I lost it. But that house just goes up, up, up. Why? Because of the financialization of everything. That's going to pop. It's like that coyote that runs, or the Bugs Bunny runs off and is hanging in the air. and the Fed lies to you, Biden lies to you, Kamala Harris lies to you, literally lies to you. They give you data that they revise downward after the election. So my point is, the future is not going to be what you've experienced for 40 years. And if you're younger than 40 years old, the future is not going to be clicking on your phone, trading crypto and coming into AMC and GME and hoping it goes up by 500%. That'll be over with. Now, there will be stocks, there will be opportunities. But brother, banks are going to go down. This time banks are going down. Goldman Sachs will go down. Those greedy, lying, front-running bastards, they'll go down. There might be one more 4-year window, 2-year, 3-year window with Trump. So even if you hate Trump, root for him while you get your house in order. But these fraudulent markets are gonna go down. And in its place, you need to have skills. Not about Kate Miller, anyway, the feminist that wrote about, let me look her up. I had a girlfriend give me that book just so I could get some yum yum. So I read it. And even at age 23, I knew it was crack. Kate Millett, she wrote a book all about the injustices women face in the society. I'll tell you something. Women are going to experience the world a lot differently. Same with old guys coming. And it's, you know, you got to get ready. Let me get her book. I'll tell you her book. It revolutionized everything. And we're living with her hell. Seminal. I wish someone had given her some seminal. She was an American feminist writer. Oh, she attended Oxford. She was born, she was a Virgo. The only Virgo that's not bodacious as a woman. And she died a few years ago. She went to St. Hilda's College. And she has been described as a seminal influence on second wave feminism. There was her book, Sexual Politics. I read that effing book, Sexual Politics. You know what my reward was? I came over on a Saturday night and I opened the drawer next to the bed, and the prophylactic that I left there was gone. It was it was opened and the material was there, but the plastic wrapping was there, but the thing was gone. I said, "What happened?" "Oh, so and so came by." That was my reward for reading that effing book. And he was a married man dating somebody at a very beautiful woman at Merrill Lynch, who was a sales assistant. Yeah, that's a long time ago. But anyway, invest in yourself. You're going to need skills like being a plumber, being a seamstress, being a painter, being a laborer, being an engineer, being a designer, being a city planner. Real talent. You don't need to be a diversity, equity, and injustice warrior. They're going to get nowhere. Investment bankers are going to get nowhere. We have too many lawyers. You're going to have, now there will be cause for general lawyership. Hey, Millie, could you write up a contract? I'm giving 10 chickens and 1 cow to Joe in return for the use of water off of his stream unblocked for 10 years. Could you draw that up? You're going to have a use for that, and in return you're going to get a quarter of a slab of cow down at Bob's freezers that you can use all winter. That's where we're headed. And so you need skills. You need to invest in yourself. I agree with Bill, 100%. Computers, being a producer, a podcast, obviously don't do it like I've done it. Make money on it. But absolutely, Bill's correct. Invest in yourself. Start a small company even. But don't, particularly if you're a man, and I'll go even further, if you're an older white male, Caucasian, don't get in the corporate world. You're not going to make it very far. If your skin's a little darker, maybe. But even then, you're going to run up against feminism. You're not going to make it very far. And so start your own company. Get out of it altogether. So you don't have to go to HR. You don't have to answer questions. Why did you look at so-and-so that way? I wasn't looking at her. I was looking at the clock on the wall behind her and I couldn't quite read it. That kind of crap. Anyway, make a product. Absolutely. I can tell you a few products to make if you can do it. If any of you know about companies who have filters, I would love to invest in a water filter company or an air filter company. But water, clean water, if you can provide clean water, free of radiation, free of lead, free of that is future. It's not maybe practical. If you could provide a factory where you assemble solar panels, the newest generation of solar panels, I think there's a market for that. I think organic farming is going to be huge. I'm not good at that, and it's probably a little late to learn. But you're seeing the beginnings of it with RFK. But our food is terrible. And all you have to do, you can read the book Tomato Land. It's horrible. So good, clean food, and you can make money on it, and you can trade it. You can trade it. You need to build out your houses. There's, in my house, I put up, I'm sure it's all taken out now, but there's paint you can put up outside, inside, that insulates your house. That kind of service. Because in the future, energy is going to be expensive. Or I should state it differently. It could be. You want to have a warm place to live, a safe place to live. You have to invest in your relationships with your neighbors so you have each other's back. And I think you got to buy silver. But let me move on. We can get on all that. They aren't scared of anything. No, they're not. And that, by the way, that's a good comment. I don't have a problem with that comment. I think we got screwed by the CEO. No, I don't. Well, you might be right. You might be right. You might be right. But I think it's too soon to know, Calixto, unless you were in the boardroom. Look, Univest did jack shit for a year and a half. company raised a little bit of money prior to that, I think. The company has been basically spinning, dog paddling in the water for a year and a half. The revenues are flat. They got this great contract. They funded it for 2. We don't know what the next one was. They got that one done, apparently. And now, this is how I see it, successful companies that are growing inhale capital. They need capital. Now, you could say we got screwed by him because he signed the deal with Univest. Maybe, but he didn't know that Univest was going to sit on its large rear end and do nothing. You could say he screwed us by not going to investors like us as an alternative. Yeah, but he might have said, how much time do I have? What you don't know and what I don't know. Maybe he's sitting with a big tender. I don't know if that's the right word, but a big RFP. That's probably not the right word either. But he's got a contract maybe for 100 drones with Fingers technology in it. I don't know. I'm making that up. I have no clue. And how is he going to build it out? He's going to tell the market, he's going to tell Roth Capital, I need $5 million on this contract, but I will not accept less than $2.50 a share and warrants priced at $7. And Roth Capital is going to say, you are a loony. They're going to say, I'm sorry. We've checked around back, and we're fresh out of cheddar. Well, you do, in fact, sell cheese. Yes, we're a cheese shop, sir. So you don't know. I don't think we got screwed. I think it's unfortunate that he didn't get rid of Univest sooner. It's unfortunate that Roth Capital didn't do a deal when the stock was $3. I think it's unfortunate that the company went on the NASDAQ. I think all the evidence out there is the NASDAQ is a slaughterhouse. So Adina Friedman can have sort of a pretty smile. That's all it is. Yeah, there's reasons. It's easy to cast blame. Failure has no father. Success has dozens. Failure's always a bastard. Do you remember how you scolded me? No, I don't, but Rennie, if I did, I apologize. And Manny here, when I suggested in good faith to stop this live streaming and talking about GTR for hours, otherwise all here will be losing money. I don't remember it, and I don't know if you're a real person, but I no longer talk about GTII. But Rennie, I actually, a year and a half ago, tried to save people further losses in GTII. Now, I couldn't come right out and say, get the hell out. And there was always a chance. The law firm was still pending. But Rennie, I've learned now, most people here need explicit directions. So now I try to be more blunt. But I'm comfortable with myself that for about a year and a half, I gave every clue in the world that GTII was not a place to be. and there were alternatives and tax loss selling. Now, I did select alternatives that haven't worked. I think Logic got screwed by Aubrey advisors. It's a minefield out there. All of these small stocks are shit stocks until they start working, and everything's against them. It's all speculative. I think Lou had a vision that there is a future if a bunch of us work intelligently, and there's been some pratfalls getting there, but I think there is a vision there. I think both in Finger and GTII very early on, because the stocks took off like rockets. I really believed the short story. I stopped. Hello?
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm live, but I told everyone you might be in therapy if you want to go live at some point.
Oh, I can't put me on. I'm just going to dump the garbage off.
Well, I've got to make sure the speaker comes on.
Yeah.
Battery 70%. Connected to Bill's iPhone.
All right, now I got to go back to you.
It's me to you.
All right, let me do like this. Now, I've got to call you right back.
Yeah.
Turn off my phone, turn it back on. Yeah, I've noticed that middle ground. Life-changing can go in two directions. But remember, you can't blame everyone else. You got to look a little bit at ourselves. Me, I'll just talk about me. 2.5, 3 years ago, I saw this with my eyes from being on Wall Street, having to meet margin calls. But you have to learn with what you've experienced. I'm a different person. I'm a different person now. It sounded like something bad. That sounded really bad. That sounded really bad.
I'm sorry, the person you were trying to reach has a voice.
Call from Andy.
Okay, let's see. All right, you should be on.
I'm sitting here looking at the phone. It didn't ring.
I called you, and now you're on.
Yeah.
You're on hold with me, but that's all right. You can talk.
All right, this is what the update I got. They have a closing call this morning. I don't know what time. The shareholder, we spoke with the CEO, said they're having a closing call this morning with Roth. And I expect him to start speaking about what he's going to have to do here with the revenue, how he's going to drive revenue, what he needs the money for, and we're going to answer on our special dividend and whether the audit's complete or not. I don't know. Then part two, they're going to hire Tom Rock of Buyins.net. Tom Rock will update us all on the naked short information. He recently did one the other day, something, it went up $6. Tom Rock has a huge following of people that buy into stocks that are presenting a short squeeze opportunity. So let's see if they go ahead and hire Tom. It is expensive, but they have the money, so I guess they want to get that out there now. And my buddy said that from Roth, and if Roth raises your money 100%, they do a research report on it. And it makes it easy for Roth to go to their institutional clients when they have a research report. That's what we sell the clients on getting into the company. They as far as raising the money, they put it out there to the hedge funds. Whoever puts it up, good, bad, indifference, they don't care. They just want to get you your money. It's up to the company to make it happen. So they did their part. They got compensated for it. Now the company has the capital to, whatever it is they're going to do on their business end. I don't know what it is. But if the company produces, And, then I think that we're up to the riches and big wicked. The shorts are, the story, listen, no one wants a setback before Christmas like myself. I don't want it either. But the story just got stronger, believe it or not. The company has got money in the bank that they needed to grow their business with, which they've been holding back on for a long time. People always say, how come their revenue's not going? Because it takes capital to drive revenue. So now they have it. So if they are not bullshitting us and actually have big data businesses and the emergency vehicle business, the revenue should start to explode. My friend thinks that within 60 days they'll be profitable once the money's in the bank. So, this is going to be a different company when they're profitable. So, if they're profitable, like my buddy said, William, the shorts have no reason to be here.
That's I was explaining. I'll say it quickly, not because I know you're busy, but I was explaining from the interview. I believe fourth quarter we might have, with good indications, it's going to turn profitable. That's sort of through February. And then if they can project during all next year profitability, it's a whole different story. It's a different.
Yeah, listen, again, if the stock was 20, I can understand the rates. I got it. It was this, they need volatility. They need to create action. But down here, they're just, there's nowhere to go. The company's not going out of business. What are you doing? This is not a company that's trying to build a business. This company has a business and will ramp up now. It's a very different situation. Good. Anything else, William?
I'm looking to see.
I gave you every tidbit that I heard. There's big investors that are on top of the company and they want to know everything that's going on. And I got it. They got a lot at stake. I told you, my one friend's down $8 million and he's not.
Let me ask you a question, and maybe you would have some input on this. The next time the company needs money, why don't they come to us? We could raise plain vanilla. Of course, we can't write a research report, but we could raise $5 million, $2 million.
I think that the reason guys go to companies like this, with a research report, it's easy to get institutional investors involved.
Yeah.
My friend gave the company, $5 million, and he didn't come with a research report. He's just a wealthy guy.
Yeah.
That research report, is unfortunately that's what Wall Street. When money managers get behind the stock, they need to have a research report to protect them on their investment, William. And I'm sure you've seen that before.
Yep.
They put it on file. Why did you buy this stock? It's not a big name stock. Why did you buy it? Well, here's the research report. It was done by Roth Capital, who I respect. That's how these guys operate. I don't believe in it, but that's what they do. It protects their liability in case they make a big mistake, right?
Yeah.
That's why a research report is important. Not to me, but to the big players. That's important.
Did Ham call in already? I'm just going through the questions.
Oh, he's gonna call it.
Jack says that we don't have millions invested, but it's significant money to us. That's true. And
no, I'm not. Listen, I treat every dollar like it's my dollar. I do it all the time. We don't skirt around anything. We go. I have friends, family, my daughters. Everyone owns shares. Everyone doesn't own 1 million shares of stock. I treat everybody the same.
So how come they were able to give Roth Capital warrants, but not us our special dividends?
Because they don't want it.
It's two different approval processes and two different glide slopes.
This is I told you the other day, William. This was a direct offering.
Right.
It doesn't need to be audited.
Right.
We're involved in the audit from the past, and we can't get past that until they do it. It's not a direct offering. It's I don't know the legal terms of it, but that's what I was told.
Yeah. Go ahead. I interrupted you.
No, I'm just saying that's what I was told. There's nothing else I can say about that. I don't know. We're going to get our dividend. There's not a question about that. The company hates the shorts as much as we do. Do you think they want to wake up every day and have people yelling at them? No. They're good people. The investors are good people. And link partners are the scumbags here. And I'm tired of people saying these guys are bad. Martin Shen's the nicest guy in the world.
He's also capable.
Listen, these guys, people leave their families. When you work on an international company, you got to travel the world to do this shit. It's not fun. Everyone thinks it's fun traveling the world. Oh, you want to travel? It's planes. It's 20 hours. It's not easy doing this stuff. And it's just remarkable that the bad guys are link partners, and people have attacked the company.
Yeah.
If you're the CEO of the company, you got to worry about saving the company all the time. Correct?
Yeah. Can we put a truck in front of Mar-a-Lago that doesn't have a bomb in it? No. By the way, I said that because that's the obvious reason you cannot. You can't do it. It would cause security risk.
What's that? What was that?
A truck in front of Mar-a-Lago.
Oh, yeah, you can't. It's very. I wanted to put the truck down in D.C. and they say during the January 20 timeframe is like no trucks in, out. It's like it's not easy to get around D.C. Maybe
we could put one wherever they have the security block off because everybody drives through there. Maybe.
The driver doesn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
The driver says it's a nightmare, and he does a lot of political. Signs. The guy said.
Did any of your contacts buy more Finger?
100%. I had a guy today buying 100,000.
Do you know the strike price on the dividend?
No, I do not. I've been saying $3, whatever it was. I don't know whatever the number is. I don't know why I had $3 in my head. I've been saying it for a while. I don't know why. Whatever the strike is, it doesn't make a difference. You have to have it in your account. It's going to be tradable. So let's say the strike price is 5. It's not 3, it's 5. And you're saying, oh my God, I got 1,000 shares of this shit. I don't want to sit and wait for it to get to 5. Well, the FNGRW, the warrant, could have a dollar bid for your warrant. You can sell it. You don't have to stay. You can trade it. It's going to be tradable.
Yeah.
So you can get out whenever you like. It's a gift to you. I look at it. If I have 1,000 shares, I'm getting 100 shares for free. What's the rush to sell it at $1? I'm going to make $100 and pay tax on it. Imagine if the stock goes to 100. Let's say it's a $5 strike. 100 minus 5, you make $95. That option is now worth $9,500. A big difference. It's free. And those guys have to deliver them.
So this is an interesting point by Mike, which I think you made, but let's revisit it. If Roth's financing, which should be done today, it's going to make FingerMotion's Q4 much better than expected. which could lead to a profitable 2026
Well,
to
that's
them.
what's going on with GameStop. GameStop didn't do anything to drive revenue. The money they sold all of a sudden changed their financials. So Mike is right.
Right.
Just remember, GameStop raised money. They sold a lot of shares, 140 million shares. Granted, they got it at $20 a share, but it's a much bigger company. So that money needs to be put to use now. And GameStop is doing what with their money? No one really knows. Everybody keeps reading people saying, what are they going to do? They're going to buy Bitcoin. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. FingerMotion has the business. Big data, telecom, emergency response. They have all their businesses in line. This money, people, when the company raised money at $1.50, I don't care if they raised it from Attila to Hunt. The bottom on the stock's $1.50. The people selling it down here are the shorts. I reported it. Gentleman reported it. It was 1.3 million was naked shorted on Friday.
I didn't know that. That's a lot.
Yeah, it was 56%.
That was, what's that website that you can go to for that? You don't remember.
It's FINRA. It's a FINRA site.
I know. I can't find it. All right, 1.3 million.
I'll put the link up there so you can look every day. People do it for me every day, so I let them do it. I appreciate their help.
I used to know it by heart, but anyway.
So if it was 1.3 million more was naked shorted, where'd they sell it? It was below $1.50, right? So let's say the average on the 1.3 million they sold the other day was $1.30. Taking the high, taking the low. So these guys are selling at the bottom again. So the $3.70 break even is that number is dropping now. Because now we're getting big volume at the lows. That number will be 370. Give it a couple more days and this will be down to 350, 345. The real short is the one that's questionable. Did the real short cover the 1.7 million on the offering? I've said it 30 times. Whoever the real short is, it's either Jeff Easton's mom or a moron. Well, the moron, if he had wind of the secondary and shorted 1.7 million at $2.20, he's like a genius now because he made 70 cents 1.7 million times on the offering. We'll find out tomorrow night. I don't know if that's going to be truly updated because it just happened. But we'll see what exactly he did. And then it's either tomorrow or the one after this, the reporting one. If the 1.7 million disappears, we know that somebody knew about the offering, correct?
Yeah.
So out of the 3.3 million that was sold, okay, this is important, everybody. 3.3 million was sold. If 1.7 million sold it short already, we already eaten that. Remember, it was over $2. They're already short, correct?
Yeah.
That means they bought 1.7 million out of 3.3. What does that leave? 1.6?
Yep.
So who's selling all the stock? It's only 1.6 million that could be sold. So I believe the shorts were shorting into it, but the real short, they covered on the offering, and the people that owned it, who put up the rest of the money to 1.6 million, if they wanted to bail out, they're done already.
Yep.
Now, if the stock turns back up, which I anticipate it will, these guys have an option to buy warrants or pay for them at $1.50. If I was short, I would buy those immediately from those people, because that would be 5 million shares. But the problem is the company gets $7.5 million in cash, right?
Yeah.
So now the company's going to dilute itself by 8 million shares total. walk away with 12.5 million in cash. We have a naked short at 231 million now, 231 because I added the 1.2 from the other day. And we take away 8, we're back to 222, 223, big deal. The problem is here, and the problem got worse with the shorts because now the company has the money. It's a different ball game. It got more positive for us. I understand the hit. I don't want it either, but there's no choice. The company needed the money. They got the money. Let him explain what the money's for. If he's going to get the profitability, it's all better for us. Does he need to come back to the market for funds? They haven't raised money in so long. They raised the small money from their friends at $1.50. Remember the restricted play for $1 million, $1.5 million, William? I forgot what the number was.
Yeah, I remember it. It was a while ago, but I remember it. It was 2 million shares at $1.50.
No, I think it was $1. I think it was $1.5 million.
$1.5 million, yeah. Anyway, it was in the summer.
Meanwhile, I want MLSS to go over $1 so I could buy more Finger. I just don't want to take the hit. I don't want to do that yet, so I'm waiting. It won't go.
It's still a loser for you. It's 88 cents.
Thank you very much for reminding me.
But your other stock is up.
William, don't I always tell you that I'm always right? I'm always
You
right.
are
Everybody's
always right.
Everybody's always right.
Your other stock's doing very well though. It's up to $1.21.
Nice.
G-bucks.
It's $1.21. Nice.
Yeah, so you're making money there.
I'm trying not to pay attention to that stock. It's coming from very reliable sources that this is going to be a big stock in 2025. So I don't know the real story. I heard that there's a big deal with Amazon. It's coming out of Goldman, someone that obviously deals with Amazon. This is how Wall Street works, people. There's information, you sort of kind of trust who you think you're getting it from. But I can't really touch anybody there. I don't know anybody there, so I can't answer those questions. So I just got involved. I told you what I did. I bought 10,075 cents, and I'm going to stay here and just, hopefully I sell it 15 to 20 bucks. If I sell it at 10, that takes care of a lot of mistakes that I made, right? And that's what Wall Street's about. That's what Wall Street. Say, listen, let's say if I sell 60,000 MLSS and lose a dime, or 12 cents, I got to lose $7,000 over nothing. So I'll wait it out, get it back to the plus side. But if I did, I got to make back that 6,000. And when you get a big hit, you got to cover some of those errors, and and you keep moving on. That's how it works. Not everybody buys a stock and they go immediately go straight up. It doesn't happen. So if anyone's getting depressed about that, it doesn't happen that way. We all take losses.
This is an interesting point, and it's more, I don't know, for discussion. But to me, Nunya, it shows sort of, in general, the end of the bear market. And in specifically, it might be the case in this stock. Nunya says, I'm befuddled how a potential 10% dilution in a worst case scenario moves the ticker down by another 55% after the stock had already been down 64% over the last 6 months. They're beating it to death. And she's not negative. I think it's just a thoughtful question. Markets go to extremes both ways. They go to manias and they go to depressions.
See, when the stock is exploding and you understand it, what did I tell you to do? When you're in a stock and it starts to go and you're making profit, if you sell a little every time, you're taking advantage of the run up, right?
Right.
On the opposite side, let's say FingerMotion or DJT, they pushed it down to 12. It looked like the end of the world.
Right.
It turned and it went to 57. So maybe going towards 57 was too much. And maybe people like myself told William, hey, William, you better sell. And William sold, right? Remember you sold your 48 calls?
Yeah, I know. You told me. Thank God.
And now it's basically finding a balance. Where it is now at $35, wherever $36, it's just waiting for Trump to acknowledge that he's going to put these guys in jail. When that happens, then you get the next explosion. But the shorts keep trying to press it down to 32, bounces right to 38, they push it down. This is someone that's in trouble trying to create volatility. That's all that's going on right now. And it's tough to sit and watch it every day. I told you my daughter paid 32 for a DJT, it was 38. And I told her, I sell it at 41. I said, make $10 on it. I said, whatever you do, make $10 on it. She could have sold it at 38, bought it back, sold it at 38, bought it back 6 times already. And that's something that I think people have to learn to understand, that things do move like that. FingerMotion has not afforded us that opportunity. It did for 8 minutes. It got to 270. They killed it right back down again. We didn't even have a chance to sell the rips and buy the dips. That's how fast it happened.
Yeah.
But once it starts to get these wild swings, the problem is when FingerMotion starts to squeeze, the first couple of hours are going to be wild swings straight up. There won't be any down swings. This is going to be up. Because it's going to be a panic trying to cover them. I don't know where they stop and then let it drop. It could run up and stop at 100, drop to 80, then go to 150, drop to 100, then go to 300. Once it gets going. So it's really, we're not in that buy the dip, sell the rip time yet. If you did buy it at the bottom yesterday, it runs to $2, you want to take some money off to lower your cost, help yourself, don't guess. Just remember, you can only sell your stock once. These criminals sell it the same stock every day, 20 times a day. But that's coming to an
end. Let me go back down to the bottom to see if there's any new questions.
Well, the question should be is, what is your feeling about the company? Are they aware of what's going on? 100%. They've been blasted by me, the high heavens. Every big player has pulled up and scolded them to get this ship right. They feel they have the ship going in the right direction based on what they're going to do with the money and all that nonsense. Let them tell us that. They're going to hopefully hire Tom Rom today to start to expose the naked shorts using his data, things like that. And those are the things that people want to see, that type of movement. And I think we're going to see it all. Unfortunately, I can't stop these idiots from manipulating it. Today we traded probably 800,000 shares. I personally watched the Warrant trades at 112, 114. I was pointing it out, they were doing it. I mean, it's just ridiculous that they still continue to do it. But if you have settlement failures, you got to watch trades. That's just the way it goes. So a lot of this volume, again, is fake. Can't do anything about that. And remember, every day this goes on, they lose money. The cost to carry these positions keeps eating them alive. And that's why you get the attacks down, because they have a cost to carry. They need to stop this. They need people to come out of it. What would you do? Just think about that. What would you do if you were the short? I'd be doing the same thing, trying to do anything in my power to knock it down. Why would I try to knock it down? Because I want to cover. I want to stop spending money, keeping this position alive. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to do the same thing. What they're gonna say? Oh, the company's diluted. Yeah, we know diluted, but they diluted it at $1.50. Who's selling it at $1.20 or $1.15? Nobody. That's exactly what's going on. What else?
Well, the last correspondence, I haven't received any correspondence. I did from Martin Shen, other than from the company, what I read you, he can't comment, the company can't comment on anything till this offering is finished. They need permission from Roth. I read that little bit to you.
My friend said to me, William, that's an SEC thing, not a Roth thing.
Oh, it's an SEC thing. Okay.
Yeah, I posted that.
Okay.
What else, William? Where is the stock at right now? I don't know.
It was 117. Let me look.
Okay.
118.
So I was speaking with one of our good shareholders, and I told her I expected the stock to move up this morning. I said to $1.50, and then it would come down, and then the second dip, that dip is the one you buy. So the move was to $1.25. They pushed it down to $1.12, and now this is the move to buy. The second one
Right.
back up. So I was off on the high, the numbers, but the pattern is exactly the same. The people, I worked since Friday. I can't tell you how much I worked, how many people I spoke to, and I had a few angry people, but after they understood what was going on, they understand they're here for the longer term and that they're here for the short squeeze. So nothing has changed. It got stronger. And I know you're saying, oh, he's spinning it. I'm not spinning it. The company got $5 million in cash. I mean, GameStop, everybody screamed. It was a short squeeze, and now the company's got the money. Now it's a fundamental play. I'm not saying, I've always believed FingerMotion was a fundamental play, but now they have the money, and we got the short squeeze. It hasn't gone away. It's 220 million plus. It hasn't changed. It got better. So they killed off a few shorts, and they got to buy some shares back. That's if they got them. I don't even know if they got them. If they would have bought every share, then those shares would have hit the market, right, William?
Yeah.
If the guys who funded the company sold their shares and sold it to Lynn to cover their short, then there'd be no stock for sale, right? But someone sold stock, and if it was all naked shorts, maybe they did cover it, and so let me give it to you this way, William. Lynn Partners covered all their 3 million shares at $1.50, right?
Yeah.
And then they sold 1.3 million down for $1.20. Does that make any sense?
No.
So that's not what happened then, right? Why would you pay $1.50 then sell stock at $1.20?
I think there were a bunch of cowards selling stock on Friday, trying to make their profits day trading with no money. But
no, listen, these day trading firms, they're full of criminals. Remember what's his name? What was that idiot's name? He's always on
Roaring Kitty?
No, Timothy Sykes.
Oh, yikes, yeah.
They work at day trading firms. And he's quarterbacking it to other people at day trading firms. So when they see a stock and they're going to attack it, all these day trading firms, which have the ability to make it short using the market maker exemption. So these day trading firms, you walk in, you put up $50,000, they give you leverage. And when they get a call that this company's doing a secondary, they all hit the button, sell 10,000, knock it down, kill it. Because they know if they break the back of the longs, the stock would go down. They pushed it down to $1.12. But that wasn't long selling there. It was the short sellers, the real short. All these day trading firms were helping them. They all worked together. It was definitely 100% working together.
Yeah.
The real short, at the end of the day, he's short, or the day trading guys are all flipping it, selling 10,000 at $1.50, buying it back at $1.25 to make $2,500. That's what they did. That's what happened there.
Keep in mind, Finger insider ownership was 83% before this offer.
We talked about that. You know what? Let me just change it for a second because I had this discussion with someone. And they didn't like the way Finger was trading, and they happened to be a big holder in XRP. Not a big, 200,000 shares, whatever it is. And I said, well, XRP was just $3. It's $2.15. Well, it's going to bounce back up. Why? Because it's going to become the money transfer of the world. I said, well, FingerMotion's doing their business, and you know what? They could be the data provider to the world out of China. So you can't just say one about the other. Like FingerMotion has as much right to turn to go back up as XRP. So his downturn in XRP, he's handling it like it's no big deal. And he's down, 90 cents from the high where it was. So, Finger he owns the 3, and I got it, he's down, but this has as much potential as that to turn and go back up. So stocks do, or anything has this volatility. Bitcoin dropped to 16,000, now it went over 100. I mean, everything turns up and down. The one thing that we have that's the negative, we have these guys manipulating it. And we need to see someone put an end to the manipulation. So either the company does the special dividend or Donald Trump comes out there and smacks it. I expect both of those things. Because what's going on is so ridiculous now that it's just everybody's screaming about it and everyone's had enough of it. What else, William?
Sorry, my combination. Okay, this guy says there's no shorts in crypto. Doesn't mean they don't. No. Crypto doesn't go down, but that's true, I guess. Not yet, anyway. Not until they figure out derivatives.
I didn't say there's shorts. I don't pay attention to crypto. It's not my game. I'm just trying to tell you volatilities and everything.
Yeah.
What makes the people panic and sell? What makes the people panic and buy? It's all based on it's all about you.
Yeah.
And I can tell you right away, I do not panic and go buy. I just don't chase things. I like to buy them when they don't want them. I've said it 1,000 times.
So if the offering is completed today, does Roth, does FingerMotion,
Roth has nothing
or both make an announcement?
I don't believe Roth has anything to say. They raised the money. Here's the money. Good luck. Take it easy. Roth will then work on a research report. That could come out, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe in a couple of weeks, 2 weeks, a week. Maybe we come back from Christmas this year. I don't know. That's part of the program. Goldman Sachs, if you raise money with Goldman Sachs to do an offering with them, guess who initiates coverage with you? Goldman Sachs. They all do it. No one's initiating coverage on you because they want to make sure they earn something from you. When they earn from you, you are considered a client, and they'll treat you like a client. Nothing's free on Wall Street. I keep telling you that.
Well, if you're good enough, the shoe shines were free.
If you're good enough, the shoe shines are free. Other than that, no.
Oh, well, so 4 million shares, that's either naked short action or one of the whales sold. I think Ham can tell you as far as he knows.
I just showed you 1.3 million was counterfeited. Again, 1.3 million. The data is all over Twitter. You can go read it yourself.
Right.
I can't tell you what the real short is done until I see the data, right? But I posted, there was so much. That was 50%, 56% of the volume was naked shorted. How much was washed and the dark pools? I was posting as they were doing it. I watched one trade go up for 350,000 shares. They had to do at least 1.5 million shares of watch trades on Friday in the middle of all that mess.
Mm-hmm.
So you're talking about out of 4 million shares, 3 of it is already accounted for between the naked short, the real short, the naked short, and the watch trades. I know some people sold. That always happens. I can't stop that. But people bought. All I hear was people buying. 3,000, 8,000, 30,000 going in, 20,000 going in. All day long, that's all I heard. Ask these guys, I'm buying. The company raised money at $1.50. Why would, who's selling below $1.50? Doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. And on Wall Street, when anybody does a secondary at a certain price, that usually puts the floor in it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If you do an IPO at 20 and it opens up, goes to 26, it pulls back to 20, William, do you see support at 20? Right?
Yes.
That's what normally happens, right?
Yeah.
Unless it's like the hot Tui girl, where she did her initial coin offering, I don't know what the price was. It went up and then collapsed. When you get that, it's a collapse. Very rarely do IPOs open up and totally collapse. We did have it in Uber and Facebook, I believe. What else we got, William?
Do you have an estimate of how much the shorts might have made on Friday or recently?
They can't make anything unless they buy the stock back.
Okay.
Unless you cash your ticket in, you can't make anything. And you can sit there and say, we're looking at our accounts and say, okay, I'm down 60%, 40%, whatever it is from Friday's close. They can sit there, we're up 60%, but doesn't make a difference. If I don't sell it, I'm not taking a loss. If they don't buy it back, they can't get their money out either.
Right.
They can cheer it all they want. At the end of the day, they got to buy it back. Just look at the GameStop people all saying the same thing. You got to buy it back. They can't close their positions. AMC, they got to close their positions. But when we say it, everyone thinks it's crazy.
I just think you're crazy. I'm kidding.
No shit. Listen, people, and I'm sorry for being like this, but I was a trader on a desk and I had to move fast. And when I speak, when I'm angry, these people are criminals. Okay? They deserve nothing but to be treated as a criminal. They're just as bad as the guy who burnt a lady a death on the train station, on the train the other day in New York City.
Oh, that was horrible.
I'm just saying that that's the type of scumbags they are. And they're hiding behind their computer in their suits, and we're doing God's work. We're lending money to companies. They're full of shit. They're just robbing people. I don't even know how they look at themselves. Go on Twitter. The poor lady from MMTLP she has a picture of a woman. She's got to be 70 years old with a dog. She just passed away. No one gives a shit. She was an investor fighting in MMTLP. She just died. No big deal. I told you, naked shorts kill people. Time is a killer. These people are a disgrace. That woman could have been enjoying her last 2 years. Instead, she's fighting for MMTLP, trying to get her money back. Instead of Wall Street, the regulators let this poor woman work 2 years, 2.5 years, trying to get her money back, and she passed away.
So you said that video came out yesterday.
Someone posted it on there.
And you said that I called them evil or pure evil, and I thought you meant that I was out of line. Am I wrong?
Are they evil?
Yeah.
They need to be beaten with a baseball bat. They're criminals. If you're in the street, it's like them coming up to you with a knife, trying to rob you and your family. What are you going to do? You got to defend yourself.
All right. So I wasn't wrong.
No, you're 100% right.
Will we get real short numbers tomorrow?
Tomorrow night, Christmas Eve, I'll be at my post. As an Italian, we sit home on Christmas Eve. Everybody comes over, so I have to sit there and I have to send
you a chunk of coal.
Well, listen, everyone. Christmas Day is my birthday, so.
And Ricky Henderson and.
Don't say that. That's my biggest fear, William. Of all the things in my life, one thing I fear is dropping dead around my birthday. I don't want my family to remember me dying around my birthday. That's it. Like Ricky Henderson just died around his birthday. He was born Christmas Day.
Somebody else was born Christmas Day that was famous. I got to look it up.
There's not many of us, so.
Well, there's you.
Yeah. Is he not going to be? He's not going to be famous, or going to be a guy that's the biggest Indian in creation, right? 24 years of fighting this stuff.
Oh wow, Rod Serling.
Oh really? From the Twilight Zone?
Yeah, that explains you.
That's me. I'm stuck in the Twilight Zone. Yes, that'll be me.
I'm not going to tell you that Annie Lennox was born on your birthday. There it is. Adriana the actress is born on your birthday. That's the one I was thinking of. Barbara Mandrell.
Barbara Mandrell. It's a country singer, I think.
Cab Calloway. Minnie the Moocher.
And that sounds like my cousin.
Conrad Hilton.
There you go. All I can tell you is this.
Dick Miller, whoever that is. Dido or Dido.
Dido was born on Christmas.
Yeah.
I knew I was drawn to her for a reason.
And Yelena Lyadova. I don't know who she is, but she was.
Sounds like a professional life.
Yelena Sedova was also born on that day.
Well, now you made my day that Dido was born on my birthday, and I'm very happy now. Now, if I could just hook up with her, I'll be all right.
Well, you have that going for you.
I'm sure my wife will let me do that, right?
You have that going. Humphrey Bogart. That's who I was thinking of. Humphrey Bogart.
And sounds like 90% of the people you mentioned are all dead.
Well, a lot of them are 25 years old.
Right.
Jimmy Buffett. Wow. You got some companions.
I got company, right?
It's almost like their mothers got so excited they couldn't wait. It's a long list. I'm skipping most of them.
No, I don't. Listen, anyway, I'll do my best I have family coming in, and there's nothing more I can do. I'll do whatever I can. I'll slip away, try to post. I have some great stories from the 2000 era that basically will outline some great stuff for everybody. I'm trying to figure out when to post it. I'll try to get it out in the next couple of days. But the good reads, I posted a lot of stories for people to read. It's the one thing, William, naked short selling always has a legal outcome coming, meaning that there's people suing Goldman Sachs, people are suing short sellers, hedge funds. There's no good comes out of it. Counterfeit is a criminal curve. It's a criminal offense. No wonder everybody's suing everybody over naked short selling. It's criminal. Yet the courts don't understand it, and the brokerage firms and the naked shorts are hiding behind this exemption, and it needs to be taken away.
Sissy Spacek.
Ugh.
Ugh.
You could have stopped me at Dido. Forget it.
Anyway, that's a pretty good list for you.
Now I'm getting sick.
She only did one good movie or two. Carrie and Coal Miner's Daughter or something like that.
That's right, the miner's daughter, right? Yeah.
One of those.
Coal miner's daughter or something like that. Well, listen, I'll leave it at that, and I'll touch base with you later. And I'm going into the gym. I got to ride a bicycle to loosen my leg up. I think the cold is really tightened the leg up, so I have to go loosen it.
Chris Amble's dad's birthday is on Christmas Day.
Happy birthday.
So is Mary's son.
All these poor. You're reading the list of poor bastards born on Christmas. That's what it is.
Yeah, there's not enough presents.
Yeah, we always get the Merry Christmas, and then they turn around, hey, it's your birthday too. Happy birthday, you rat bastard. That's what you say.
Too bad you don't have.
When you were younger, it bothers you. When you're older, it doesn't make a difference.
Does the squeeze number change, Brian?
No.
No.
The squeeze number, but I have the real short number of $2.20. That's obviously gone down, but I don't know if they covered. I got this feeling that we're going to see that number go to zero.
The good thing is you won't have to guess because you're going to get Ronk's numbers.
Yeah, no, I'm just talking about the real one, not the naked short.
Does Trump putting his DJT in trust take the shares off the market? I don't think so. But what's your answer?
I think they were off the. Listen, they're going to do something. He's not. There's no way he's letting this go by. Pam Bondi owns the stock. Cash Patel is a board of director. Even Rumble's up. RUM, but Dan Bongino owns 5% of that company. Remember I spoke at that guy? They got a big investment from somebody the other day. It's up $6. So he's breaking out. He's breaking out of the zone, that guy now. I retweeted Dan Bongino. Head of he's going to be the head of Secret Service. Naked short selling is counterfeiting. It's a crime.
Do you have to pay for the warrant before you can trade or sell it? No. If it's public. Not all warrants are publicly traded. But if it's traded, you just trade it. It's like a call option. Only longer term, and the money goes to the company instead of the bastards on the auction exchange.
The key to the whole thing is you have a 2-year expiration, which I believe what it was, 2 years. What's a 2-week option worth the DJT, the 40s? Not for this, pick a January, pick any day in January. What's it worth? 2 weeks, the 40s. They got to be 85 cents to $1. And that's 2 weeks to go, and they're $1. Imagine having 2 years to go. I could buy that warrant and have 2 years that it's going to be alive. So let's say I'm going to give the benefit now. Let's say it's $1. If they're short 230 million, they're going to be short 23 million of these things. At $1, they're going to be down 23 million because their cost basis is zero. They just got short. They woke up and they're short 23 million at zero. If it trades at $1, they're down 23 million. If it trades at $1, their prime broker is going to come to them and say, hey, you got to put money up to match the margin on these things. So these guys out of the gate, they'll be down $23 million, and then probably have to put up $2 for each warrant they're short. That's another $40 million. They'll be down 60-something million just by FingerMotion giving them the dividend. They'll be down that much money. And that's why you see these attacks. Everything they do is to the extreme because they're in a panic. They need to cover. Anything else, William?
No.
Well, I'll touch base with you later. If I hear anything good, I'll let you know. And hopefully they got in touch with Tom Runk and he gets to work on this for us.
All right.
When Tom comes out with the data, we all get to see the data in real time then.
And we all hope you make it to your 49th birthday.
I hope I make it to Christmas. That's why I just got to make it to 12/01, December 26th. That's it.
All right.
Hey, this life is so crazy. You never know, so please don't get depressed.
It is short.
Keep your head up. It's life is short. You know, I can't believe how many 24 years of fighting this crime. I can't believe how time has flew past this thing. This isn't my first rodeo with these stocks. I mean, it's going on a long time. And William, one person said to me, "How do you handle this stuff every day? Are you okay?" And I always told you the story about I had this girl, Lehman Brothers. She called me up as a new client. She ran $1 billion of Lehman back in the day, and she wanted to do business with me. And she said, "Give her an idea." And I just followed what Michael Steinhardt was doing. He was one of my clients. And he was short a couple of million shares of the stock Epitope, EPT. It was $11. I said, "I don't know the story, but my best client short the stock," and I told her who it was. She goes, "All right, sell 100,000 short for me." So I did at $11. It was a Thursday. She was a new client. It was a DVP account, meaning that she had a delivery versus payment. And she gave me all the details. We opened the account. Everything was great. She said to call her if there's a problem. She went to the Hamptons. Well, the next morning I came in, the company got a $30 takeover bid. So she was short 100,000 at 11. She was down $2 million. It's not even, she didn't even pay for the trade yet. So I called Steinhardt up. He didn't know what was going on. I called her up and I said, "Listen, and she said she took it like a champion. She said, "Hey, sell another 100,000 for me if you think it's going to go back down." I said, "Yes." She did. The stock was a fake bid, and she bought it back at $5. Like that one, William.
Is that the one you married?
It's because my hair was standing up like Don King when the company got a $30.
That's back when you had hair.
Right. That's what I think made it pop out. If I could withstand that one, you talk about a beating. I was like, that was, because if she didn't pay for the trade, I was out $2 million. And, so everything worked out, and she wanted to make it a couple of $1 million. And I wound up playing squash her. And she went to Harvard. I always played squash with her at the Harvard Club. And that was my training to live for days when the markets, when your positions get upside down. I learned how to deal with it a long time ago. So, anyway, listen, let me go right up. And listen, everyone, have a great holiday and stay well. And please don't get depressed. We'll get through this.
All right. Talk to you later.
Thanks.
Awesome.
So one of the comments was he didn't have time to listen to, I guess, my meanderings. Well, I know one solution, just don't listen. And I'm sorry, Mark, that you lost your mother, but I will point out to you that it's a blessing to miss her and love her as well. So, I think what I'm going to do, unless there's a question there, I think I want to show you guys an article that's interesting to me. I didn't really read it yet, but it's on the I got to remember where to find it. It's on the debate between gold and Bitcoin. And I thought that's a pretty interesting subject. And I think it was this guy. Let's see. If not, no, it was maybe Jim Rickards. That wasn't it. Where was it? Let me just Google that. Gold v. Can't remember. I can't remember. Let me just think. Well, I just can't. I can't do that. I can't remember where the article was. I think it's here on my computer, and I can find it. How would you like to have a brain that forgets just what it saw 3 hours ago? It's not a very good brain. Part of the problem is I can only half see. All right, I'll stop looking. I know it's boring. Let's see if it's possibly here. Where did I see it? Oh, well, I'll find it for our next call, gold versus Bitcoin. It's too bad. I thought that would be interesting. We'll do it next time. Merry Christmas. Thank you. All right, so let's just look at the prices. While we were talking, I was going over these stock prices, and Rail's down. It's down 3 cents, 3.41. Low volume relative to the last 10 days. I think if you have a few pennies for your, let's say, January trade, that might be one. Nixy, on the other hand, is strong. It's up 33 cents at 4.98. DJT's up 47 cents. Fingers up 11 cents at 118. And it's 114. And unless you have a topic, I think I'm going to end it there. I wish I knew where that article was. Let me look one more place. One more place. It was he who I was seeking. I just hit the wrong button. All right, so I'm going to finish on this. I'm going to finish on this. So I was right. I just didn't trust my instincts and I picked the wrong source. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay. Egon. It's here. Oh, that's wrong. Hang on. Survey set. There it is. Here it is. Oh, it's a video. All right. Let's see if what it says. You can watch the video. Peipenberg rolls up his sleeves with a blunt assessment of Bitcoin's so-called digital gold slogan, which, based on the very definition of money and volatility, clearly makes Bitcoin neither a store of value nor a medium of exchange. Peipenberg makes no direct criticism of Bitcoin as the speculative asset of an era, but the crypto in no way resembles the characteristics and uses of physical gold or an anti-fiat alternative. Bitcoin may be many things, good and bad to many investors, but it ultimately is an extreme speculation rather than wealth preservation. And as such, the so-called gold versus Bitcoin debate is no debate at all. Peipenberg further unpacks, I hate that. Can we just erase that? Peipenberg looks at the increased centralization and politicization of Bitcoin versus its decentralized and apolitical profile. In fact, Peipenberg suggests that Bitcoin is becoming increasingly politicized. Sorry, I'm not going to talk over myself. As clever entry drug to stablecoin exploitation and as a desperate way of mopping up otherwise unwanted U.S. Treasury bonds. That might be interesting. You can see it on YouTube. I might go watch it. Cryptos made political. All right. For some reason, I can't say that word. Well, I guess we will be wiped out on call options. Yeah. I think the stock trades at such a low price, I would skip buying the call options. Here's a stock somebody wants you to look at, Straw. I did see G Bucks today. And happy birthday. Is it your dad? I can't remember. Yeah. Happy birthday to your dad. I always think of my dad on Christmas. Anyway, so Merry Christmas to everybody. And then after it, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Holidays. And I'm going to leave it there for now. If there's something exciting, maybe I'll talk later. But I bet Ham will want to talk to you tomorrow. So we'll probably see you tomorrow. So peace. Peace. That's Mr. Tang, I think, is correct. So peace to everybody. Cheers.